Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get my videos as soon as they're released. Today we are doing my peach cobbler. First, take half a lemon and squeeze the juice onto the fresh peaches. Make sure that all of the peaches touch the lemon juice. Next, you're going to take a whole stick of butter and add it into a saucepan with the heat on medium. You're then going to I add a cup of sugar, but you can add more than a cup if you're not using fresh Georgia peaches, and then you can add a teaspoon of vanilla flavoring. Then you're going to add, I would say, 2 tablespoons of cinnamon and leave that on medium heat. Then you're going to add ground cloves. This is a pretty powerful spice, so you only want to add about half a teaspoon of the ground cloves. Leave it in the on the stove, and then you're going to start to make your crust. All right, friends, since we're going old school, we're going to go old school with the crust. We're going to take our 2 cups of sifted flour and then add in the 1 teaspoon of salt. Then we're going to add 1 cup of butter, but you're going to slice up the butter into the crust, and then we're going to add 1 cup of vegetable shortening. Once we add those things, we're going to use a pastry cutter to cut the ingredients into the flour so it's going to be crumbly. That's the texture that we're looking for. So make sure you kind of pay attention to the video and you'll see what I'm talking about. Then we're going to take 1 cup of water and then add in the ice cubes because we want the water to be ice cold, and we're going to slowly add 1 tablespoon of water at a time. We're looking for a specific texture with the crust, so you may add in the full cup or cup and a half of ice water, or you may not. We're looking for a very specific clay texture, and we're adding that water 1 tablespoon at a time, and you'll see that's how I'm adding it. You want to create that well in the middle, and then you're going to stir from outside to inside, very similar to a biscuit recipe where you're stirring from outside to inside and you're slowly changing the texture of that flour. And you'll see that the dry ingredients start to change and you'll start to get more of a crust a crust like texture with the flour. The more and more you add the water, you don't want to add it at one time, you want to add it little by little. You'll see I did not add in that full cup. Then you're going to add half a cup of flour to a clean surface, and then add your dough pile to that flour. Then you're going to cut and fold. You're going to create a layers, and what you're trying to do is incorporate that flour into the larger dough that you have, but also create a consistent ball. And you're going to cut it in half. Now, the reason why I cut it in half is because I like to have crust on the bottom and crust on the top. But if you just want crust on the top, then you're not going to cut it in half. I then wrap the pieces of dough in saran wrap and place them in the refrigerator for at least an hour. Now that the dough is out of the refrigerator, it is time for us to roll out the pieces, and using some more flour, we're going to flatten out that rounded piece of dough. You can flatten it out as much to your particular preference, but remember, you're trying to flatten it out to at least fit whatever dish you will be using to cook the peach cobbler. I'm more of a dough type of girl, so I like thick dough. And then you're going to take that nice peach cobbler filling and add it to the bottom of the casserole dish, and then you're going to create the top. Because I want it to be a little bit of fancy this time, I did create some webbing and some strips, and I added that to the top of the peach cobbler mixture, and of course that will cook up. So you want to make sure that you spray it down with some type of baking spray, and then to take it up even more of a notch, I add some ground cinnamon to the top of that and place it in the oven for at least 45 minutes. And baby, listen, look at that peach cobbler. It's not playing with anybody. It is bubbling, it is hot, it is ready to be consumed. And so I hope you guys really enjoyed this recipe. This is something that I hold really close to my chest, but I wanted to share it with my fam so you guys can enjoy it as much as I do. So if you enjoyed this recipe, make sure you comment down below and let me know how you like to eat your peach cobbler. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and check out some more of the videos on my page. Bye guys.